2024 has been wild, man. I haven't uploaded in a year, but that doesn't mean I'm not up to date. I haven't missed a thing because I'm that terminally online. Because of that, I want to celebrate this year. And let's celebrate the end of the year with 12 days of Christmas, shall we? Because we are just 10 days away from ending the year 2024, let's talk about what defined this year specifically. First, predators. There are so many, and some of them are wild. Let's go through all the predators this year, shall we? Let's begin this with the beginning of the year with this list. This one is funny because people actually thought this will contain useful information that will reveal every single freak. Like everyone was waiting until February for any news of who will be the next on this list. It was an actual hype thing, especially for the conspiracy theorists who is excited of the idea of their least favorite politician being sick. And for those that hated Hollywood, as they already expected most of them to be creeps. I mean, Dan Schneider and Harvey Weinstein already exist, so we already kind of knew that Hollywood is full of. As it turns out, the only thing this terrible piece of paper gave us is Stephen Hawking, which is a man that is already dead and a man that I already kind of forgot before this drop. Well, Prince Andrew and Bill Clinton are also on this list, but it isn't like no one expected it. Their reputations are already on the mud before this. So, Stephen Hawking is the only real revelation here. He's still pretty freaky though. He allegedly goons on midgets doing math equations on a high chalkboard. First of all, imagine writing anything on a high up chalkboard as a 10-year-old. Just that, no additions, no freaky stuff. That is hard to do, man. Probably not for me, who is already old by standards. But that's not the only limitation. You also have to solve high school math on top of that. Even if no freaky stuff is involved, even I would crack and become insane. Especially since high school math is actually stupidly hard. For real. Stephen Hawking being a freak is something I did not expect. I do kind of like Stephen Hawking for being an intelligent man. He's a great scientist after all. That will definitely shake up my inner child, but it isn't like I have any emotional investment with him being a freak. Also, he's dead. He has been dead for 6 years actually, so no justice is going to be served to him. And he died with a virgin asshole. There are a lot more famous people that are very, very freaky. The list might have been a letdown, but that was released in January. It has almost been a year, and more has come to light. P. Diddy already has a reputation before 2024. Like many people already kind of knew he was into some very sick stuff. And boy, did this year prove everyone right. Like most people here, what he did is absolutely terrible. I will rather not go into deep details into their more heinous crimes. Look that up for yourself. I'll rather talk about the memes.
And like we all, hey, everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party. So
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
let's go.
Diddy is just one of the many musicians that are known creeps. Another one has a D, which in a certain context is a commonality in all the predators in this video. Don't worry, that video about gals that are predators will be the second gift that I will release. Releasing later. We are here for guys first though, and our next guy is someone that starts his name with letter D.
Say Drake, I hear you like I'm young. You better not hear
Oh my god, Drizzy, you have come a long way. So long that it is far enough away to hide your child's gaze. We knew when you look up Millie Bobby's eyes that you want to enter there and have a cream pie. Man, Kendrick really destroyed him with 4 disses. At least that's how it ended. But man has a track record. There are videos of him online kissing a 17-year-old while knowing she's a 17-year-old. It might have been just a peck on the cheek could have been construed as harmless, but with what we know now with his
They not like
interactions with
us.
Millie
They
Bobby
not like
Brown, we
us.
know
They
his
not like
D
us.
doesn't take an innocent interaction.
They not
Plus,
like
it's
us.
very
They
sus for
not
him
like
to do
us.
this to a
They
random
not
girl
like us.
anyway.
Think
And
the play
Drake
gon' let you
continues to
disrespect
deny
rap,
all of
nigga?
this, by
I
the
do that
way,
Oakland shit with
including the
Theo, that's
one
that nigga.
about having a
Think
child,
co-found. I
which,
don't know
well,
why you
yes,
still
I do
pretending. What is
agree
that
that
how?
you
Bird
shouldn't have
niggas and bird
children
bitches.
outside of
Yo,
your
the
significant
honey is
other.
not dumb.
It
Hit the
isn't
stories how you want that
necessarily
cake, then not
uncommon in
slow.
the
I
rap
hear hoes
space.
still
Plus,
deep. I can go
he is
further, I
already going
promise. Ain't
through
that
his
something
tough
you
guy
represent for a
phase
bitch
at
and you
this point,
Malibu
so
most
it's
wanted.
just
You know
dumb for
love boy,
him to
you bum
deny
boy,
it.
fake
But
pin
I'm just
later slow.
saying. Speaking of denial, which everyone here is doing with their crimes, of course, we have a new addition this December to the Denialist Club. We're ending this musicians section of this video with the last letter. His name doesn't start with the letter D. In fact, it starts with a J. Jay Z. Everyone connected to Diddy could have been here, including my only Sunshine. But Jay Z is the only one that is currently implicated in any court case, so yeah, he's in the vid. He's basically another Diddy, but more established. But pretty much all of the crimes of Diddy, you could apply that to Jay Z. Actually, I would say to Jay Z, however, is that doing things to little girls when you already have a queen bee is appalling. Then again, maybe the queen bee is the one that is watching. I'm not saying anything, please don't sue me. This is a joke. This isn't meant to be taken seriously. But of course, they aren't alone for being preds. There's still a lot of predators that I haven't said this video. Most of them are internet influencer. So I will go rapid fire on most of these. Keep in mind, the one that I am listing right now, I will not tell anything about them because their story is generic. Anyways, let's go to the actual ones I have something to say about. Too mad. Rest in peace to him, by the way. Didn't deserve his fate. That being said, while he didn't deserve to no, he deserved a jail cell. He is a creep to random girls, and contacting them obsessively is not a good idea. Like contacting them on multiple alt accounts, even if the conversation is completely harmless, that's still weird as hell. I doubt he's necessarily a but it's still strange behavior. Sadly, people did went too far with him, so being in jail, even including the assaults that it would give him in all directions, still more merciful than what actually happened. But sadly, he's the only one that has already been punished by God about all of these behaviors. Sadly, because again, these are predators. One of them is part of what I would call the Ripple trilogy. Diddy, Drake, and Diddy, Drake's respect. This tall ass man could pull anyone, especially these girls, which I haven't forgotten I would cover later. But he decided that his best chance would be a 16-year-old. Man, you have everything a man wanted. You're fit, you're tall, you have a wife, you have a kid, you have fame, you have money, and yet you still chose a 16-year-old over all of those. What more do you want? No one would have cared if you're cheating with someone that is over 18. Look at athletes, man. And there is still a predator after him. His name is Chris Tyson. Yes, Chris with a CH. I'm not gonna beat around the bush about this. He is a criminal. I don't care whatever his delusion says is his gender. He is a creep. There is not only evidence that he is a ped, but he acted on those desires. I don't give a if all of those DMs are jokes. It's still criminal. It makes me so angry because these two, for some reason, are so politicized. I know there is an election in America just months after these two were exposed. I know Chris is a quote unquote trans woman, and Doc is basically what an incel thinks of themselves. But the fact that incels like Sneeko, which let's not forget recommends this, and has stated multiple times his utter distaste of the age of consent, defended Doc but utterly shat on Chris, shows that people are not thinking straight about these. Of course, everyone knows that that guy in the beginning is a freak, so is Diddy and Drake. Everyone agrees on this, but these two in particular, somehow people are not equally attacking these guys. And it's so sad that people are actually defending Chris, especially because their reason is that it gives trans people a bad name. No, if anything, it is Chris who gives trans people a bad name for being a degenerate trans woman. I know firsthand because I commented this somewhere and people actually disagreed on me because they thought that I'm giving trans people a bad name. It's so stupid that I'm attacking Chris, and yet it gets misconstrued for some reason because of political nonsense. And also, this is the same with Dr. Disrespect. Like, people actually defended this guy, as I said. Politics is just too much. But you know what? I'm gonna admit it now. I'm a complete masochist, and I have the bone to pick on a particular part of the internet political culture. I hate Boss! And now, I have a valid reason to hate him. For those who don't know, which despite his massive following on Twitch, 2 million by the way, I don't blame anyone for not knowing him, as even my friends don't know who this guy is. He's a political Twitch streamer. Always a bad sign as streamers have a toxic and parasocial communities, perfect for and politics are a perfect way for someone to get groomed. Not all streamers are deviant, of course, but Vosh is something else. He has, in my opinion, the funniest kink in all of this. Like his freakiness is beyond this video scope and my understanding. So I'd rather not say it. Look it up for yourself. It is weird. Even weirder that he can control this urge and manage to leak it in front of thousands of leftists in his stream. Like, dude, I know the urge to just look up at to the point that it is ready by the time you're done with something. It's just somewhere that you can access with just one click. However, you already should have learned a lesson. Pokemon already has a clip of her showing accidentally on stream. This is not the first case of someone leaking freaky stuff on the internet. So Voss should have known how he could hide his dumb ass thing from the rest of humanity. He just ignored it. And that's it for the people. I know, OF girls, I will talk about them later. I already said this multiple times. And Roblox creeps. I haven't said anything about them as their stories are just too similar. Like Predators before and after 2024, all of their stories are the same. So I just think that it's not worth it to talk about. Other than that, Merry Christmas. See you all tomorrow and welcome back.